feel like I'm further back than I normally am. I don't know.
I'm closer because I'm not in my home studio, so
it's kind of a vibe though. The doors behind you. We can see the reflection outside.
So the house that I've been staying in for the last almost 3 weeks.
Oh my god.
Because you have to Zillow the houses that you're staying in, right?
Of course.
And I've been dog sitting for them for years now. But it's in one of those neighborhoods that the average price of the home is $1.4 million.
That's a big girl house.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, but what's interesting about this house is that the bedrooms are pequeño, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's the lot size. There's a huge backyard. There's like a water feature. There's a, fire pit. There's a hot tub.
That's the dream.
It is the dream. However, my dogs have been very much enjoying their little oasis. But
welcome to Wrestling Made Me Cry.
Oh. We're live.
Yeah, we've been live for like a minute and a half, but that's okay,
No, it's great.
SP3 is in the chat. I love SP3, by the way.
Let me tell you, you ever go on SP3's when he's activated in his heel persona. I mean, it's not kayfabe. That's real. Colored me shocked yesterday because Cresta and I were chatting, and she goes, "You should go watch SP3. He's like full activated heel." Like, I'm shocked, and I was like, "Okay, we'll see. We'll see what this is like."
He's great.
I was shocked.
Yeah. It's SP3 inspires me to be a better hater. Because like sometimes I'm like, am I going too far? Like, is it too much? And then I watch SP3 and I was like, no, I can go further.
I could hate harder.
But
happy Pride Month, everyone. I know that y'all come into here to be loved and accepted, and I just want to say we love you so much. We appreciate you in any stage that you are. We just love you. So
exactly. Happy Pride.
Yeah.
And AEW posted Happy Pride too, which I saw that and I was like, because nobody else is posting. Do you remember like not even that long ago when every would post a Happy Pride?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just, and AEW posted the Happy Pride and the love is love, all the things, very corporate, but like it means something now for you to say that in this environment.
Although the Seattle Police Department posted their Happy Pride.
The police,
and literally the week before, there was a religious hate group. And I say hate group because you know what kind of thing they are. They were protesting, like counter protesting, an already existing like weekly protest from a very well-known queer organization. So these religious people came in droves and started attacking the queer counter protest or whatever, and the police were seemingly only arresting the LGBTQ plus folks.
I'm not gonna say it, but we all know what I'm thinking.
It's just one of those things that it's like again like
it's just weird. Like
I know this isn't a political podcast, this is a wrestling podcast, but it still impacts like where I live, and even in a very blue state, in a blue city, that this is still going on.
And also like I think Pride Month is one of those things because, like, I think the LGBTQ community in wrestling is in this weird spot where they're accepted in some spaces, and I'm talking about wrestlers and fans, like the whole community, accepted in some spaces and like pushed out of others, be it through releases or firings or like bullying, things like that. And so I think even in wrestling, like as opening and accepting as wrestling may seem, like there's still weird undercurrents. But AEW, like especially this last month of TV, very gay.
Yeah. I posted a video that it was like, if not gay, why gay shaped? And it was just the match of Kyle Fletcher versus Adam Cole.
And they leaned into it. Like Toni Storm is very like she's been very clear.
Yeah, she obviously
this queer character. And this like which we'll talk about it. This like confrontation with Mercedes killed me.
Yeah, same.
But it was so cute. Someone posted like their last WWE confrontation and then this. I love them both. But I don't know. AEW is just really leaning into being the alternative, and not just in a wrestling creative sense, in a we're going to be accepting no matter what kind of sense. I'm towing the line so carefully. I don't know if you can tell.
I love it.
But so obviously Double or Nothing, loved it.
Oh my God. AEW always goes, hey, did you think that the last pay-per-view was the best pay-per-view? Let's top it. Oh, again. Again.
And it's like, and another one.
And yeah.
And another one. And another one.
Yeah.
It was so good. And even the and if you guys watched our Double or Nothing preview, you know that I was not looking forward to this Paragon Don Callis family showdown. I was dreading it. Even that was good.
Yeah.
I just think this roster is so good that they would have to try at this point to have a really bad pay-per-view.
Well, let's not put that into existence. I don't.
Oh no, we're not manifesting that because if All In is bad, I'm going to die. But everybody was wearing a cowboy hat at this, like at AEW. I was like, okay, we're just all. Oh my God, my wrestling shirt of the day. I have Mr. Brody Lee.
Oh, what a good one. I have that one. Well, I gave that one to my husband, so.
Yeah, I have this one, and then I have a couple Dark Order shirts. I was gonna wear a Hangman shirt too. I was gonna wear my OG Hangman Bullet Club shirt, his first Bullet Club one. But that one is so like faded and crinkly that I'm scared to wear it now.
Yeah, I feel that.
Now it just has like sentimental value.
Now we have to figure out what wrestling shirt are we wearing to All In.
I know. Because like the vibes. So I want to wear, we talked about it. I want to get a hat. I want to wear like a cowboy hat. I don't, because the obvious choice is Kenny Omega because it's Omega Okada. But then I feel like, is that do I have to be Hangman? Oh, but then it's cute because it's Kenny and Hangman. All In is just going to be such a fun time.
I already have my outfit picked out.
Okay, give it to us.
Okay, so I am going to wear this shirt. Or I might wear my other Hangman shirt. Okay. That is also this color. I have acquired a denim skirt.
Ooh.
So it's shorts and a skirt with pockets, which I love. I purposely I went to I actually went to a store and purchased sandals. I got some old people sandals, some Clarks.
Okay.
Because I figured it's going to be hot, which means
it's going to be really hot.
Which means I have never gone to a wrestling show with my toes out, so I'm a little nervous.
You got the dogs out for Hangman Page. I get
dogs out for Hangman Page. because it's going to be Texas, I know I'm going to be hot. So I'm going to put my hair up in my little space buns.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to find the glitter freckles.
Oh, those are so cute.
Right?
It's going to be such a vibe.
Yeah. And I'm bringing my fanny pack, my clear fanny pack. So
I have my clear fanny pack too. Well, yeah. Because you guys know how it goes in stadiums these days. You can't have a bag. I get it. But I have my clear fanny pack, which I got it in 2021, and she's come with me. She's a world traveler, this clear fanny pack.
Same.
So I'm excited. And this week of AEW TV made me even more excited because they're really in full, like, all-in mode, preparing for all-in. And this Hangman Will Ospreay Swerve drama fest that is happening. Hangman Page is making friends, okay?
Yeah.
He's building bridges.
Strange.
And of course the big debate this week was like, should Hangman beat Mox? Are we still on Team Darby? You all know where we stand on this. We don't even rehash it again. It's Hangman or it's nothing. Retire the belt at this point. But Hangman and Will Ospreay just being like, yeah, Hangman, you deserve it. You're the man. And Swerve he's gonna help Hangman win. Like, that's the vibe I'm getting.
Ooh, you think?
He's gonna be in his corner because I don't know where we're going with the Death Riders, right? I don't know. Obviously, Mox, whatever, but the rest of them, I don't know where we're going with them. I don't think they're going to get a better story out of Darby. Being like, hey, I don't think they story up. So you could bring Darby back. Coming here to challenge, whatever. I don't know. If they bring Darby back and have him win the world title.
No. Stop it. Get some help. Also, I'm pretty sure you're breaking up.
Yeah. I'm having a little bit of some Wi-Fi difficulties. But okay, it's rained the last couple days in Florida, so it comes with the territory.
I was having that last week, so I get it.
Yeah, it rains here and the ground just gets swampy, and then for some reason everything breaks.
Oh,
and then the next few days it gets so hot that the power goes out. Yeah.
Florida sounds so great.
Florida.
Remember, if you would like your super chat or your comment read, make sure that you send in a cute little super chat. So you're supporting the show and we get to read your message on the air.
Period. That was like a radio voice.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was my radio voice showing?
I loved it.
Between my radio voice and my customer service voice this week, everyone laughed because we'll get inundated calls into our department. And I used to work a call center. And if you know, you know. So there's like specific points that are forever ingrained in my brain. And it always makes people go, huh? Because I said, okay, so I've helped you with X, Y, and Z. Is there anything else that we can do for you today?
I love it.
And they're like, no, you solved it. And I'm like, I'm so glad that we solved your question. If you have any other concerns, please email us at blah, blah, blah. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye.
Why is it when we're in these roles, we make our voices really high?
It's the only way that people can hear me, because if I started talking like this with my accent, people go, what? Huh?
And that I don't know what it is, but I don't think that either of us have like super deep voices.
Right.
We're not, but like for some reason.
Yeah. For some reason.
Yeah,
I know.
for some reason. I do it too. Like I worked, like every job I've worked, I've had to have like a public facing role. And I'm just always like,
but my radio voice goes down in lower register. And remember, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Like you have to draw it out.
Yeah.
It's real fun. It's real fun.
I did want to say, R-Truth leaving WWE. We're not a WWE group, right? You guys know this.
Yeah.
But this is genuinely shocking, and I feel like I just have to say, what? I saw it this morning, and because like the Fightful account on Blue Sky had posted it. And my first thought was, oh, this is gotta be
a joke.
It's a joke, right? Like, not that I think wrestlers should be joking about getting released or whatever. But I was like, no, there's no way R-Truth has been there for like 20 some odd years, 25 years. However many years it is. And he's just getting, after being in a story with John Cena too.
John Cena.
Right. I was shocked. And I don't watch WWE, so blah blah blah. You don't get an opinion, blah blah blah. But like, what? He's genuinely so funny. He gets a pop every time the crowd sees him. He has a great entrance song. He has like, he's super unique. He's like the only person on the roster like that. Is he older? Yes. But he's R-Truth.
Right.
Crazy.
But yeah, he was in TNA for a little bit of time. He came back to WWE.
Yeah.
Honestly, he's been clutch, especially during those interesting times.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. And like, I understand, you don't need to, not that anybody in the chat would do this, but you don't need to, come in and explain business to me. I get it. I know how capitalism works, right? R-Truth is not a guy who's like a drain on the company or is costing them money sitting on the bench. He was wrestling John Cena. Not
literally the champion. Your champion.
And people were cheering for him against John Cena. So you're not going to talk me out of my opinion. Like, there's no reason for him to have been. I don't know if because his tweet says he was released, but Sean says it's like his contract isn't being renewed situation. So regardless, he's leaving WWE.
Shocking. Honestly, there was that weird 24/7 championship that
I forgot about that.
He's forever the 24/7 champion. He's
the 24/7. Oh my god!
Did that unlock?
What a time that was.
Right? Some of the best storylines came from R-Truth, in my humble opinion. But definitely like kind of sad to kind of see happen.
Yeah, especially like on a Sunday morning, the first day of Pride Month. My mood is good. Vibes are elevated. R-Truth.
And during Black History Month and Pride Month. Yeah.
I ranted about this a lot on Blue Sky. So go there if you want more of my opinions. But I personally do believe that a wrestling company, after spending decades profiting off the physical body of a wrestler, owes that wrestler payment for the rest of their life. Maybe that's controversial. I don't know. Legends deals are not it. Wrestlers should get obviously their royalties from the Legends deals, like royalties from their likeness rather, and merchandise and all that stuff, and a pension. I don't get it. R-Truth, you deserve better. I love you. And the crazy thing is, he just did. There's a Walmart like not that far from me. He was doing an appearance at the Walmart.
What?
Yeah. Just I don't know if it was like to build to the John Cena thing. I don't know, because I don't know anything
Florida's
about.
so weird. Y'all have like random
Florida
meetups
is
at
weird.
Walmart. That's
Titus
crazy.
O'Neil is like really heavily involved in the community, and he just randomly does stuff. And like, there's a lot of wrestlers that live like really close to me, like minutes away, and they just randomly do stuff. I don't get it. But and also, like Mike says, everyone wants him in AEW. Sure. I listen, maybe this is going to get me some flack, but if you're an older wrestler, right? I have no problem with AEW signing every single one of them to give them a paycheck. I do not care. Does AEW need R-Truth? No. Would R-Truth be funny in the Hurt Syndicate instead of MJF? Yes. Have R-Truth show up, give MJF the boot, and having like the really stoic and serious MVP and Bobby and Shelton with the goofball R-Truth, it's gold. Like, it's the MJF dynamic that they have now, but better. MJF should not be in the Hurt Syndicate. It like on so many levels. I have so many problems with it. But I genuinely have no problem AEW giving a paycheck to every wrestling legend. If Tony Khan, the billionaire, wants to do that, who am I to judge?
Listen, it's not my money, so
it's not my. I don't have billions. He has billions sitting in a bank account rotting away. He's never going to spend every single dollar of that billions. He might as well distribute it.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying. It's untouched money. It's building interest. Might as well.
We're changing this podcast to wrestling makes me unhinged.
No, genuinely, something about, because like I come into the show, we're in like the studio before we go live. I'm with Collins. Something like a switch in my brain is activated. And I just black out for the whole show.
Oh my Lord.
But yeah, that's my R-Truth opinion.
I love it. I love it so much. I'm sorry. But yes, I do want to say Double or Nothing is always my favorite. And all these numpties going, AEW pay-per-views are so long. I get it. And I want to know your opinion because you're on the East Coast. For me, it's not so bad because it just, like, it's like 9:30 p.m., you know, where I am. I am like, it's possible for me to go to bed at a reasonable hour, especially when I'm watching it from my own home. However, that Anarchy and Arena, I feel like if I watched that at full volume, I could run through a brick wall. That's how I felt after watching that.
I blacked out. So, okay. So they play the Young Bucks like founding fathers, like Yankee Doodle.
Oh my God. I just love the fact that I can just send you like like me screaming. Yeah. Scream laughing or like ha ha ha. And you're like, I know what you mean. Because we're literally watching at the same time.
Yeah, that's the best part of it. So they came out in their like founding fathers outfit with their little founding fathers flag, and they're playing like the Yankee Doodle song, whatever. And I immediately was like, "Oh, I just know Collins is loving this." And they wrestled the whole match in the founding fathers outfits.
Those must have been hot.
They're like full coats, like, mind you. And so they start Anarchy in the Arena playing that song. I was like,
Yeah, whatever it was.
Okay, I guess. Because we had spent our little preview show. We talked a little bit about like whose theme song would be the best to play on repeat. And I was like, okay, we're George Washington vibes. Like George Washington could tear down. He crossed the Delaware.
But it's so funny because they had that little like, we are the founding fathers literally on that Dynamite before. And I was like, oh, there's some shenanigans going to happen. And I wanted them to come in that full wig, like the powdered wig. I wanted them to look rosy in the cheeks. I wanted them to go the full Monty here, you know, just in the full outfit, everything. And I didn't get the wigs. However, their hair was herring. So yeah. I will, whoever is helping Nick, thank you so much.
Brother needed it.
And guess what? He got it. So
yeah, everything about it. And then also, so we had Swerve in like the Predator, like the alien Predator gear. Which was so good.
So cool. Scary.
Did you see? Yeah. Did you see like the like professional, like high res photos, like the photo shoot they did in?
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega was Captain Trash Can. Captain Canada or whatever. He had like the trash can painted like the shield.
Captain Trash Can?
It was a vibe. It was good.
Yeah, it was a vibe. I mean,
I'm just glad he wasn't. The Death Riders having like a 15-minute entrance.
So you know what I loved? I love that everyone came out except Samoa Joe, and I'm sitting there going, "Why is Joe not coming out? Where is Samoa Joe?" He eventually came out. He's fine, but I was like, so like, "Where is Samoa Joe? I'm ready to flip a table here."
I was freaking out too. We're not doing this match without Joe.
Yeah, we're not. No.
Let's take it back. I don't want it now.
But I think the one that like made me giggle was Wheeler Yuta coming out, and his hair is just in his eyes. Like, how can you wrestle when, sir? This is what you look like.
Maybe he has supervision. He like ate a lot of carrots when he was a kid, and so like he has good vision. But like when Joe didn't show up, I was like, okay, they're putting Joe last for some reason so they can have his song.
Yeah.
For Anarchy in the Arena. Mm-hmm. I was wrong. We got Karaoke Omega. He gets on the mic and he's like, let the bodies hit the floor. And the bodies hit the floor.
Do you remember on YouTube? Listen, I don't know. You might have been really young. Well, back in the day, before monetization on YouTube, all of those wrestling compilation videos were to that song.
I thought we threw it on the mic and he's like, let's kick it back or kick it old school, whatever. I thought it was going to be My Sacrifice.
Oh, that's also a good one
too. I was like, oh my God, it's going to be My Sacrifice. What a vibe. No, it was
heard.
The crowd went nuts and they all knew the lyrics.
Oh, I mean, we can't forget the Pointer Sisters with the I'm so excited. But here's the thing. Remember that they tried to push that as the theme.
Yeah.
And everyone said, fuck this shit.
I liked it. I was like, yes, I am excited.
It was very rah-rah cheerleader. When, like, for me, I mean, because I grew up in the era that I grew up in, I want to be destruction. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, let the bodies to the floor was a choice. And I really liked it because we've had quite a few Anarchy in the Arena matches by this point. And it's almost a given after the Jericho mishap where the song kept playing. It's almost like, okay, they're going to play a song, it's going to loop. But this was like, this really set something up where now you could have any song play on loop. Like it doesn't have to be the entrance song of a wrestler in the match. It could be any song. Like we had Let the Body, unless we're to do Let the Bodies Hit the Floor every year, which I'm not opposed to. We can make it a thing.
Sure.
It could be the anthem of Anarchy in the Arena. I'm not opposed to it. It was so much fun because the song would fade out at the end. There'd be a little pause, right back with it. Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. And I was into it. The crowd was into it. It was so good. And the match was obviously excellent. There was all sorts of shenanigans. There was violence. You know, Willow got like chained by her earring to the turnbuckle at one point.
That made me
I was like, and nobody was helping her. And the crowd was chanting, "Please help Willow," and nobody was helping.
Okay, but like, do you remember when they did that with Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton? Hell in a Cell.
The screwdriver thing?
Yeah.
Yes. I remember that.
Similar vibes. I'm sitting there screaming, but I also was 3 margaritas deep. Because we had a Southwest themed thing, and I was like, I'm gonna have another margarita because we still had three more matches to get through. By the time we got through Hangman and Will Ospreay, that almost 40-minute match,
worth every minute.
Right, I was like almost sober at that point.
I sobered up just in time for such an emotional ending. Mm-hmm. But to your point earlier, was the pay-per-view long? Yes. Right. I think objectively.
Oh, that was the original question.
Yeah, we just went on a tangent about Anarchy in the Arena because it was so good. No. I think the pay-per-view was long. But my thing is, you pay money for the pay-per-view. I'd rather have too much wrestling for my money than too little for my money and feel like I got ripped off, if that makes sense.
That does make a lot of sense, yeah.
And like the point then is people saying, well, they could lower the pay-per-view price, which I do think the pay-per-view should be less expensive. Personally. Okay. But if
so instead of $49.99, you would do $39.99?
Something like that. I don't know. Okay. But if you lower the pay-per-view price to have a shorter pay-per-view, then you're going to get people who are like, why isn't so-and-so on the pay-per-view? What happened to this feud? Why isn't on the pay-per-view? And so on and so forth. So it's like, I understand the criticism, especially as someone who does live on the East Coast. Mm-hmm. And the pay-per-views are ending now at like midnight, 1 a.m. Like it goes on and on and on. I don't mind it. I really don't. And I understand if you mind it and you don't like it because you have work in the morning or, you know, your kid's going to be up in a few hours or whatever the situation is. But I'm someone, I don't want to be ripped off. And Tony Khan is not going to rip me off. He's going to give me $50 worth of wrestling. Mm-hmm.
See, here's also the thing that I encourage all of you to do is find local wrestling fans. Find people who are local to you that you can split the cost with. And I'm not just saying marry them because I got really lucky. I got really lucky that my husband and I just split the cost of all of our wrestling stuff. We split the cost of, you know, watching it on HBO. We split the cost of all our pay-per-views. We, you know, split the cost of, you know, going to shows and stuff. But I'm saying find a community that you can split it 4 ways or 5 ways or 3 ways or what have you, because I think wrestling is meant to be a community event with each other, you know?
I agree. And I think, so for me, most times I'm splitting the cost of the pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. And it's not bad. I don't know what's going on with Triller and everything that's happening. AEW has like 50 pay-per-view partners, and you can only get it in some countries.
That was pissing me off.
Yeah.
That was pissing me off because why would they have you move your entire Bleacher Report library to Triller?
To not be on Triller.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I
Especially
went
when
on
they're not
Triller
on
to buy
HBO
it.
yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I ended up having to buy it on Amazon Prime, which I was not happy about. But because like I have my whole Bleacher Report library, which we've talked about it. I have every AEW pay-per-view and every Ring of Honor pay-per-view just ready to go on Triller. No, now I don't have Double or Nothing. So like it's like, you know, when you're collecting something and you're trying to find one that you can't find, that's what it's, and I don't know what's going on. They have all these pay-per-view partners, some international, some only United States, some North America, whatever. They need to figure it out. Because like,
yeah, figure it out.
Figure it out. I'm assuming that things are eventually we're just gonna be Max once Max is in other countries because it's like slowly rolling out in other countries. I'm assuming that's gonna be the move, which I'm not opposed to because I pay for Max. I would like to use it. Because right now I only use Max for AEW and The Sopranos. So I would like to use it. But I don't know. It's such a confusing thing. Like I was watching the pre-show and they had the little graphic pop up and it's like Amazon trailer, like all these like pay-per-view YouTube, all these pay-per-view providers. And I'm like,
yeah,
no, too much. We need to consolidate.
I know. And the thing that was there was like all the different countries. And it's like, okay, I see Triller on there, but I can't watch it in the United States, which I'm sure you could use a VPN. Use code Fightful.
I don't know how to use a VPN. I'm gonna be real with you. I had to use a VPN a few times when I worked in DC, and I don't know how to do it. And if you know how to do it and you do it, good. Find me on Blue Sky. Tell me how. Like, teach me your ways. Because,
and I thought that HBO was going to have the pay-per-views there, like all of them, not just archived, but they were going to have it to where you could watch it live.
Yeah, I'm
at
assuming
a discounted
that's
price.
the direction we're going because I think that would be a big boon for Max because it's been, I don't know how long since like the whole shakeup happened, but I feel like they kind of need the financial revenue on Max. As long as my pay-per-view library from Triller finds its way to Max, I'm fine with it. If I lose my pay-per-view library, I'm suing for
currently
emotional damages.
Everything is stopped for all years at Double or Nothing, except I think there's all of 2019 and up to 2020, but I'm not sure because I haven't looked over that, because I tried to go rewatch Full Gear from 2 years ago, which is one that I didn't purchase. Another friend purchased it, and
I don't get it. And Jose says Jimmy Van said on the hump that he thought Triller is done, like in danger of insolvency done. I don't know. Like Jimmy Van would know more than I do because Jimmy's like business smart in that way.
Yeah.
I don't know. But if Triller is done, it makes sense. And so like if Triller is done, like RIP Triller done, they need to tell me what they're doing with my pay-per-views.
Yeah, right? Those are my property.
Yeah, did I pay for all of them? No, Triller just gave me some of them. But I paid for a lot of them.
Yeah.
And so I deserve to have them. So tell me where I can get them. Thanks, Triller. But AEW TV is like, it's worth the Max subscription, AEW alone. But the last, since February, AEW TV has been so good. And like this week was no exception. We talked earlier about the Hangman Ospreay Swerve stuff. We had Thekla's AEW debut, which God tier debut. I was
shocked that this is how they debuted her.
Because you thought that she was going to debut on the pay-per-view.
I thought she would come out after the match, little spider, but no. I had to wait till Dynamite.
It was worth though. It was a good debut. It was worth. The crowd loved her, and I think that, like, in terms of the women's division, I think they're set pretty good now. Because, like, obviously we had Mina, like Mina and Julia and Toni on Collision in a little, I don't even know what you call it. Weird, I don't even know. Like a schoolyard fight of sorts.
I mean,
Julia being in anywhere in the proximity of the world title, I will take it. I love Julia Hart. We
absolutely.
have Thekla. We have Mercedes and Toni doing a thing, which, like, I don't like a champion. Tell me that
I was disappointed. I wasn't disappointed with Hangman winning, but I was a little bit sad because then we're not getting Mercedes versus Athena at All In.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. And I also don't really like a champion versus champion vibe.
Right.
In most situations, and I feel like it doesn't really work in this situation. I understand they have the history, the WWE history. It's going to be good because it's Toni and she's really leaning into this like romantic notion of her character. It's going to be good. But I really did want Athena and Mercedes. And now I'm worried that Athena's not going to be on the show at all.
Well, here's what I remember from back in January when Athena was having those series of matches with and against Thekla, is that Thekla called Athena a bitch. And that's why she likes her. And then Athena said, I'm going to see you again. And next time it's going to be in the United States. What a wonderful way to debut Thekla versus the 900 plus day Ring of Honor champion of champions, Athena.
I'm not opposed to it.
And I don't want Thekla to win the ROH championship because of my opinions about Ring of Honor right now.
Yeah.
However, on the stage of stages,
and the match would pop off. Like, it would be a Stardom style match. It would be great. Would I rather have Athena Mercedes? Yes. But I think this is not a bad second option. I just don't know. So, like, Toni versus Mercedes. I'm assuming Toni wins. Because, like, if you give Mercedes both belts after she just lost the New Japan Strong one, and then we're just kind of still back in belt collector mode, I don't know. Like, I don't like know. That. I don't see the vision for Toni versus, like, obviously I see the vision for Toni versus Mercedes. It's going to be a good match. But, like, in terms of how you balance the champ versus champ part of it, I don't know. Like, unless you somehow throw another person in there and you somehow work it out in that way. But Mercedes won the Owen. So, like, I don't know. I'm trusting the process though, because the Toni Storm stuff has been, it's can't miss, and they haven't dropped the ball. Yeah. They haven't dropped the ball, so I'm willing to wait it out. Thekla being here, and we're still getting Jamie Hayter stuff, right?
Right, Jamie Hayter hasn't just gone away. Yeah. We need to remember.
And they're also, like, low key still kind of building these tag teams in the women's division, which I don't know if they're doing women's tag titles eminently, like, soon or anything like that, but it kind of feels like we're headed in that direction. Right. And so I'm assuming we might get something fun. I don't know. But it feels like, in terms of caliber of talent and caliber of stories in the women's division, we're in a pretty good spot now. Do they need more time? Yes, obviously. But when they come out, everything they do now is, for the most part, is meaningful, right? So it's like, it's not like we're just sending women out because we have to tick the box on the card.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it's more meaningful. So I don't know, like, if Mercedes is still TBS champion come All In,
mm-hmm.
what do you do after? Because, like, if I'm challenging Mercedes, we're going world title, baby. Like, I'm not challenging Mercedes for the TBS. I want the world title. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know. It's weird, right?
It is weird, but I don't know. I feel like a shakeup is needed? Question mark. Especially hearing that there are some ongoing, not releases from AEW, just contracts won't be renewed. We saw that Abaddon was not going to have their contract renewed. I'm sure there will be other women's wrestlers that won't have their contract renewed, which sucks. Anytime that there's a talent that isn't utilized and just sitting in the back, I want them to be able to do whatever they want to do. But I'm also of the nature of just let these women fight. You know, I want to see a Willow versus Chris Statlander at All In.
Yeah.
I want to see that feud because I can't remember who I saw it from. And SB3 mentioned it on his show yesterday of what are your top 3 women's feuds?
Like, currently or all time?
All time AEW women's feuds.
Chris and Willow. I think that was my favorite women's feud.
Do you think that their feud is done?
I don't think so. I don't think it can be because, like, they set it up. They finished it kind of unfinished with the "this is unfinished business. It'll come up again."
Yeah.
Right? I think Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter was good. Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa was good.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't know if I would say. I mean, I guess Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker would be in my top 3 AEW all time. And then Mariah, Toni Storm.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, I also would have put probably Mercedes versus Willow in there, but we would need to see
more. Sheeta had good
of
ones too. Sheeta, Britt Baker was good.
Oh,
there's been some good ones. I think the caliber of wrestling now is better than it was pre 2024 ish. I think the caliber of wrestling is better. I think that the stories, there were good stories back then, but the caliber of wrestling now kind of like matches the caliber of wrestling now. And I think Mariah May, Toni, and Willow Stat are like most emblematic of that, in the sense that you have a good feud, you get a good match, the whole thing. Mariah May going to WWE, I think they did a good job of like wrapping up the Mariah May Toni feud. So like it's a closed book, it's a closed chapter, but if we revisit it, there's things we can do to sort of if Mariah May, comes back to AEW or however it shakes out, whatever. I think for All In, you're gonna have your women's world title match, and now you don't have a TBS title match because she's in the women's world title match.
Which, so, like, boo.
Yeah. But I think there's a good opportunity for women's tag. If you're gonna do titles, that'd be a good place to introduce them. I don't know. Might be too soon. It's 6 weeks-ish. Might be too soon. I don't know. But if you could put together like a women's 4-way tag for the inaugural championships, that'd be fun. Because then you don't have to do another tournament or something. You can have some qualifiers, whatever. Or a women's multi, like a 4-way match. You could say, world title contenders or whatever you want to do for that. You can get some women on the card. And you could get a lot of them on the card, is my thing. Because if your only women's match is Toni, Mercedes, why? You dropped the ball. Because I understand you're going to have Hangman Mox, and you're going to have Omega Okada. So I understand these like big blockbuster matches, like those core three: Toni, Mercedes, Omega Okada, Hangman Mox. You can still have the sort of like not filler matches, but like these like mid-card matches that still have stakes and are still a lot of fun, but you need to break up your blockbuster matches with those matches. So why not give the women a big part in that?
Agreed.
It makes sense to me, especially with how good the division is now, because you just signed Mina. Megan is still new. Megan Bain is still new. Thekla, like you're signing people. So give them the stage. It's all in. It's their like first proper like really big stadium show in the US. I mean, they did Arthur Ashe, but a real stadium. And so like I don't know.
I love anything at the top of the tier, right? This is going to be a show of shows. This is going to be equivalent to WrestleMania. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you aren't showcasing more than one women's match, two, if there are not women's matches that aren't for a non-title thing, what the fuck are we doing?
I know, right? Because it feels like Julia is getting a push. It feels like they're like, remember guys, Julia's still in the mix here, even with all these big stars coming in. We had that women's tag, Anna and Harley, who are do this rookie character I've really loved. And I think Anna, this is a good spot for Anna, because Anna Jay always draws the critique of being like not, quote unquote, not good enough, whatever, which I don't agree with, but it's whatever. And so I think, and then same thing with Penelope and Megan, kind of finding their footing in the division where they're not sort of butting heads with Toni Storm and Mercedes, who are now embroiled in this thing, finding places for them that isn't them chasing those singles titles, I think is super important. Whether that leads to women's tag titles, I have no idea. If Tony Khan said he was up to it, whatever, I have no idea. They did that women's tag tournament thing like ages ago, like 5 years ago or something. I have no idea. But they have the people for it. So you could do some really fun stuff. If like worst case scenario, you pull the Chris and Willow card and you reignite the blood feud and you got another banger on the card. Like you have these stories in your back pocket. Like we still have Anna Jay and Ty Mello and Julia Hart and Penelope Ford. All four of those women have unfinished business with each other. Athena and Thekla, like we said, they have unfinished business with each other. You have like, and you could just rerun matches from the Owen. You have so much going on. So I think Tekla's debut was really well received from what I saw on social media and from the crowd, which is a really, really good sign. So I'm cautiously optimistic about the direction of the women's division in AEW. Cautiously.
Agreed.
Because we both know they can drop the ball. Will they drop the ball? I don't know. Oh. We got a growly dog.
Yeah.
What are they barking at?
Hold on.
Okay. I'm going to continue to talk while Collins is taking care of the dog situation. But I think the women's division, I don't know what they're going to end up doing with the trios titles, the men's trios titles, because it feels like they don't have a plan for those. I mean, the Ops have the titles. They were in our Anarchy in the Arena. Hook came back, kind of was looking a little mad at the Ops, especially at Joe. Maybe he feels a certain type of way about Powerhouse Hobbs taking his spot in the trios title match. I don't know where that ends up going. But it feels like the trios titles are kind of just there for right now. I don't know if they end up like reigniting that division to where it was when the titles were first introduced. I have no idea. The men's tag, the Hurt Syndicate, people love the Hurt Syndicate. I'm personally not a fan of MJF being part of it, but people love it. So you have good matches you could do there. I still firmly believe Private Party should beat the Hurt Syndicate, like get that redemption story. I don't know if it's going to end up happening. They have so many tag teams. There's so many options. Probably going to be FTR, like I said last week. But the Hurt Syndicate comes out. The crowd goes wild. AEW's doing good there as well. So I think the big glaring hole in AEW's creative right now is the men's world title. But I think in terms of week-to-week TV, everything has been pretty reliable, right? So like there's, with the exception of that, I think there's very few things on the card where the dip is very significant in terms of like fan attention and how it's received, which is where AEW needs to be. And it's where like 2023, 2024, they weren't. Like there were very, very clear like downturns in wrestling TV week to week, things people loved and things people despised. Like everything was very polarized, right? And there wasn't really a thriving mid-card. It was like, here's some undercard guys, here's the upper card guys. And then sometimes they'd mix and it would not work. So I think AEW's done a really good job for the men's and the women's divisions and like filling in that mid-card, establishing a hierarchy of talent and working with that, moving people up, moving people down, and making reliable week-to-week TV. And so now you get in a situation where you have the Hurt Syndicate and you have a ton of options who they're stable enough in their place on the card and they're standing amongst fans like Top Flight and Private Party and LFI and so on and so forth, where you can yank them up and it makes sense to the fans. Like it makes sense for them to be there. So I don't know where you go with guys like Ricochet, for example, who that stretcher match was a lot of fun with Mark Briscoe. Do you put him in a singles feud? Do you put him in a faction, a tag team, a trio, something like that? But a guy like Ricochet, who's been so good and the fans have really enjoyed, you got to find something for him. So I don't know what that ends up being, but that's kind of like the fun of AEW right now, where you can kind of just sit back and relax and let everything play out, which is such a wrestling cliche now. Let it play out. But you can kind of sit back and just enjoy the show for what it is, with the obvious exception, of course, of the men's world title. But while you were gone, Collins, we were just talking about the stability of AEW TV and how everything seems not static, but like there's nothing glaringly awful. Like there's no, like obviously I'm not, you know,
glaringly awful.
MJF, get off my TV. You know,
well, he's got a movie to promote here soon. So,
which Happy Gilmore 2 trailer.
I didn't realize he was going to be such an important part of this movie.
Because in like the press release for the movie or whatever, it said that he was Happy Gilmore's son. But like that's, I thought he was going to be like a background character, like in the room. Oh, Dad. Like, no, MJF is like the dude.
Yeah, he is the dude.
Which is so cool.
Interesting. I mean, I'm just here to wait to watch him get speared by Bobby Lashley. I can't wait for that day to happen. You know, if that happens on your television, I'm gonna be hooting and hollering and shimmying. That's gonna be me.
His soul is gonna leave his body.
I can't wait.
I'm so excited. I don't know how the story's going to shape out. I don't know how we're going to get there. But what I do know is I firmly believe now that the Hurt Syndicate is stringing MJF along. And I'm so excited for the turn. And the crazy thing is, I think the crowd is going to cheer for it. I don't think they're going to be mad at Bobby Lashley at all.
No.
I think they're going to be like, finally, Bob, you got rid of that annoying dude. And we can get back to hurting people.
I was kind of hoping that like Cedric Alexander was going to come in.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, because I heard that he was around.
Yeah, I don't know. Because obviously the history's there. And I don't know why the Hurt Syndicate hasn't recruited more outside of MJF. Like, I thought that this was going to be, because they came in and they were kind of implying that they were going to be getting people in. I thought Anthony Bowens was a shoo-in for the Hurt Syndicate. I thought Queen Aminata was a shoo-in for the Hurt Syndicate.
Ooh.
But no, just MJF, apparently. I'm still firmly on my Anthony Bowens versus Shelton Benjamin agenda. That match would change lives. You would go versus Benjamin, you would go in, you're like, oh cool, a wrestling match with some dudes who can wrestle really well. And you'd come out of it a changed person.
Absolutely.
So I really do think that that's where we should be. Windows update. I don't want to restart. I'm in the middle of we'll do it tonight. Interrupting me like, hey girl, you want to restart your computer for this update? No, I don't. I'm in the middle of it. Read the room.
I am so excited for All In. I'm excited for the summer of wrestling. I'm just excited for summer, but like, I'm just excited and I just can't hide it.
I know. AEW is back and it's summer. The sun is shining. It's been so hot in Florida though. We had a heat wave and then another heat wave. So it's
Speaking of which, I know we're going to be in Texas in July. I think I need to start prepping my skin.
It's going to be
I'm going to be baked.
Yeah, well, where it is in Texas is very environmentally similar to where I live. So it's going to be 100 and humid, essentially.
I need you to leave.
So, like, I've been telling people, you need to start tanning. Because it's a thing where
I don't want to get burned, you know?
People in Florida, we start tanning in, like, January, February. So that by the time it's summer, you're tan enough where like you're not going to get sunburn every time you go outside. Like, obviously still wear your sunscreen because skin cancer, everybody gets skin cancer regardless of your skin color.
Right.
But you if you tan, so like science time, your body, when you tan, even if you're white, like you still have melanin in your skin. You just have less than other people. Tanning, it does give you some degree of sun protection. Still wear your sunscreen, obviously. Don't be an idiot. But it's going to be better for you in the long run if you tan.
I am the shade of paper. Like, let's just get that out there. Like, I am obviously the shade of paper. I need to do something. And when people are like, oh, well, it's air conditioned inside the stadium, you know, it's going to be great, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just knowing that 80 degrees is hot for me. And we're not just going to be teleporting into the stadium. We're going to be walking outside the stadium.
Yeah.
We're going to be getting Ubers or walking places that I know that I have to be prepared.
Yeah. I'm prepared simply because I'm born and raised in Florida and like I can go through the trenches, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be there and Haley's going to be there and both of you are like not prepared for
I'm not
that
prepared.
Kind of so listen, get a little like handheld fan, like a little battery powered fan.
Oh, I was like, oh, I could do it.
One of those maybe, but like also like the I don't know what you would call it, like
the oscillating fan.
Oscillating fans. You get a little handheld one. They're pretty cheap. They're pretty good because like it's a lot easier to prevent heat stroke than it is to cure it. So, and it's a lot easier to prevent dehydration than it is to cure it. So it's a lot like if you're drinking water steadily throughout a day, your like risk of dehydration is lower than if you're just chugging a bunch of water once you're already hot. If that makes sense. So like if you got heat management is a whole thing. You got to stay on top of it.
All right. Nurse Kiley.
I could not be a nurse. I would nurses. They could have so much. I could never. People can be so mean to nurses.
Okay.
And I don't put up with that. I would be so mean if I was like, if you put me in a hospital where I have the nurse. I don't mind the nursing part of it, taking care of people. But the moment they snapped at me, oh buddy, I'm in charge. But yeah, there's like a lot of things about living in a hot climate that you're just kind of ingrained into you from a young age.
Yeah.
So I will be ready. I will be prepared in Texas. I will be stacked, locked and loaded with electrolytes and all sorts of stuff. We'll survive. I will nurse all of you. I will be the nurse. I
was already planning on having those like little liquid IV sticks or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I always take when I travel anyways. I know that I'm going to be hot. So you're not going to see my hair down at all.
No.
0%.
Which is good. Because, like, we don't want heat stroke. Listen, and the thing is, here's the thing. Everybody's going to be half dressed because it's going to be hot.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair.
And my biggest advice to anybody who's going is look at the material of the clothing you're wearing. Because, like, you could be half dressed, but be wearing the warmest material, and it's not going to help you. So look at the material.
Plan these little portable handheld fans are like $15. That's it.
Yeah, they're pretty cheap, and they're worth it. Because, like, sometimes in the summer, the air can get pretty still.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're sweating a lot and you have the handheld fan, it cools you down a lot.
Some of them even spray you with water. Jeez.
Yeah, they get fancy with it because like the air and the water has the cooling effect on your skin.
Interesting.
Yeah. I have one. I don't know if it still works anymore because last time I used it was last summer, I think. So I might just get a new one anyway. But they're worth it. They're so worth it. And a lot of them are really small too. So you can just stick them in a bag and it's totally fine. But yeah, bring water. Wear sunscreen because you don't want to get sunburnt. And also, if you get sunburn, it increases your skin cancer risk. And if you get skin cancer, it can spread to other places in your body. You don't want it. Wear your sunscreen. Everybody gets skin cancer. I don't care what color your skin is. Everybody gets it. Everybody wears sunscreen. And then just like drinking a lot of water.
Absolutely. I'm excited. I'm excited to experience it with you, with all the fans, my fan.
My fan and my fans.
I still have to figure out a way to get into Supercard of Honor.
I have no idea. So if you guys don't know, apparently you can only get into Supercard of Honor if you buy a VIP AEW ticket. Because even if you go to like buy tickets to Supercard, it directs you to the all-in AEW all-in tickets.
It's because they went on sale and then there was a glitch and then some people got them, some people didn't get them, and so they just kind of shut it down. That is what I was told.
That's dumb. They should give you a ticket just for being loyal. Because like there's very few loyal Ring of Honor fans left.
Hello, I have been a Honor Club subscriber for the last 4 years.
That
felt like me.
They should go through their Honor Club subscriber database. I don't know, whatever, and be like, okay, who has been here from the start, and then they should all get free tickets.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think.
When your product is that bad.
But the thing is, Supercard is going to be good.
Right. That's the thing that doesn't ever make sense, is even the weeks leading up to the shows.
I don't get it. I really don't. But you if anything, you should show up at the door and be like, "Hi, listen." You should let me in simply because I deserve to be here.
Yeah. Give me a ticket now.
Yeah, give me a ticket now. I don't know if they're going to end up opening it up again and letting people buy tickets. I don't know. The fact that it hasn't been resolved and you can't buy tickets is kind of crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because I don't know what they're going to end up putting on the show. I don't know which AEW talent are going to be there. I don't know what the stories are going to be. I don't know if there's going to be New Japan talent there for Forbidden Door, building for Forbidden Door. But it feels like you would want to have people there, right? You wouldn't want an empty venue? Question mark?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you need to find a way there. Because you deserve to be in the building. They should put you front row. They should put you on commentary. They should give you an entrance and
I would just be laughing at Ian and Caprice.
And you know what? It would be the highlight of the show.
Oh, that's very kind. But,
do you want to do your final thoughts and your plugs?
Final thoughts is that Double or Nothing is incredible. When can we expect it on HBO? I am holding my breath, hoping that All In, the streaming capabilities, will be a little bit better. But listen, Toni Cohn, you have all the money in the world. Figure that shit out. Figure that shit out immediately. Your biggest show of the entire year, it was a fucking mess. So for All In, please figure your shit out. As for the months preceding, this month preceding, we are going into summer. Happy Pride, happy Black History Month to all of my friends. And let's just enjoy wrestling. These dogs are pissed right now because there are people outside doing things.
How dare they?
Walking by. But just remember, be kind to everyone you know. And rough. Find me on all social media _queer auntie. I am trying to boost up my Twitch. So I'll be going live on Twitch. I did update Penny Lane ham sandwich. Get a job, pay a bill. I changed up my streaming schedule. So if you want more information about that, go to _queer auntie or go to Blue Sky, just queer auntie. I'm going to be doing Love Island recap shows. So if you love Love Island and you want to talk about it, we're going to be doing them every single night. I'm excited.
That's so fun. I love that. My final thought is that Double or Nothing was excellent. AEW TV this week was excellent. And I'm excited for the summer because AEW like really hits their stride.
Yeah.
And so I think we're going to have a really nice stretch of weekly TV. We're going to have good pay-per-views. It's going to be a good time.
We have a 4-hour episode on Wednesday.
I know. Which is going to be a mini pay-per-view. So I'm excited for it. You can follow me on social media at Kiley Wrestling. I'm most active on Blue Sky. I'm going to be real. But at Kiley Wrestling. And this is Wrestling Made Me Cry. It's a show that's live every Sunday at noon Eastern time, where me and Collins come and we talk about the things in wrestling that made us cry. And we have a good time. And honestly, we get a little wild with it. But that's part of the charm of the show. Okay? It's part of its charm. And this is Fightful Overbooked. It's a channel where we're all very charming. There's wrestling shows, there's non-wrestling shows. And this is a channel of like, I was thinking about it because we talked about it last week, like how do you describe Fightful Overbooked? It's a channel of strong personalities. Wrestling content, wrestling content, non-wrestling content, all sorts of stuff. So when we're done here, go to the playlist tab, find your people, find your jam. If you're watching this after we go live, hello, you're still welcome. I would love to hear your thoughts on anything that we talked about. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe to Fightful Overbooked. This is hilarious. Jeremy Lambert.
False, but also
Jeremy Lambert has his own charm. As someone who's done karaoke with Jeremy Lambert,
I love him so much.
I love him so much. He is such a gem. Joel Pearl is my nemesis. If you've been a Fightful Overbooked fan for long enough, you know.
Mm-hmm.
One day, me and Joel Pearl will find ourselves in the same country, and all hell will break loose. But yeah, subscribe to Fightful Overbooked. Make sure you go support everybody else. Their wrestling shows, non-wrestling shows, what have you. There's all types of different content, so you're just gonna have to go explore on your own. You know what you like. Go figure it out. So all that being said, thank you guys so much for joining us. I had such a fun time doing this show. And listen, I don't want to say AEW is back. AEW is back.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you're right. Joel is always wrong, legitimately. Except when he drinks Diet Coke, then he knows he's right. And you know what? He stole my gimmick. That was my gimmick.
I'm really sad that I can't wear my long sleeve Diet Coke shirt because I just want to show you because it's so like retro and cool.
I need a Diet Coke shirt. Maybe that's what I won't wear it to All In, but maybe I'll get one and I'll bring it to Texas and I'll wear a Diet Coke.
How
shirt.
cute!
And we'll drink so much Diet Coke. I love that, like, everybody in wrestling now, we're all drinking Diet Coke. Me, Joel, Kate, Ella J, you, everybody's drinking Diet Coke.
Between that and Diet Dr. Pepper, that's my jam this summer. You want to have a dirty Dr. Pepper?
Where's that?
Okay, you get a Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Do you like cherries?
Yeah.
Okay, put a little bit of cherries, little maraschino cherries. Put a little bit of grenadine in there. Okay. I like to do a pump of almond syrup. Some people do vanilla syrup. And then you put a little bit of half and half or breve or cream or whatever in the drink. Put a little bit of whipped cream on top and you got a dirty Dr. Pepper.
I'm intrigued. Mm-hmm. I've seen things similar to this on like Instagram of shops, like coffee shops, but they don't do coffee. They only do like these type of soda things.
Yeah, like a dirty soda.
I'm not opposed to it. And I'm sorry, but Pepsi tastes like coins. So you give me Pepsi, I'm gonna be able to got to lick some pennies. About a swallow of glitter.
I love a wild cherry Pepsi. Like I really do. But that's it.
It's not as good as Diet Coke. I'm sorry. I grew up on Diet Coke is the thing. We were not a soda family. My dad is very like he was very particular about what we were allowed to eat and not eat. Mm-hmm. So we never had soda or anything. But if we had like a birthday party or something, or we went to a birthday party, Diet Coke. And it slaps. It slaps. And I still drink a lot of Diet Coke.
Slaps.
But I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, but you drink Pepsi. So you're hurting your own feelings at the end of the day.
Listen, if you sent in a $50 super chat, we will drink Pepsi on air. That's it. $50?
I guess. Okay, I would. I also, when I was a kid, one time I had a Sprite at a birthday party and lost my mind.
A crispy Sprite is really good.
So good. We have a super chat from Dan who says, "Y'all are awesome."
Dan, love you.
Yes, we love all of you. I love that we've been ending this show for 20 minutes.
Listen, if you keep if you keep showing up, we'll keep doing this. So.
Yeah. We're almost at 50 episodes.
Crazy.
This is episode 43. So, guys, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us for our little Double or Nothing review / AEW review / commentary. I don't know what this show ended up doing, but it was a good time anyway.
I had a good time.
Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Be safe.
Be safe.
And
be
rough.
And rough.
Be careful.
Bye.